And what up everybody, it's Anime Junkie, and welcome to part 6 of What If Deku Stayed Quirkless. And now, let's get to the intro.
Late nights messing up my sleep, so I'm flustered. Taking out aggression with my pen because I trust it. Right in front of get myself a lamb color cuss for the game. Leave him hanging by his chain. Click bang, feeling rage, feeling fire in my brain, feel insane. And it's slowly feeling flames, moving fast to my brain, bringing more. Still, no glory.
Okay guys, before I start, I'm sorry I completely forgot about Kirishima in the sports festival. So, instead of Bakugo being at last and in the final battle, it's actually Kirishima because he ended up beating Bakugo with his One For All and his hardening quirk. Because it boosted his hardening so he had longer time to use his hardening. You know what I mean? And he also had his unbreakable form because it ended up boosting his performance of his quirk. So he ended up beating Bakugo. Bakugo was pissed about that, but he still respects Kirishima because they're friends, of course. And Kirishima and Deku end up fighting, but Deku has his ability that he basically boosts his ability. So, of course, he ends up beating Kirishima because I don't really want the main character to lose to anyone. And right now, Kirishima doesn't really have, let's say, he doesn't really have that much control over One For All. Let's say he only has like, 15%, and that is somewhere close to, yeah, I think 15% was the right one. So that's somewhere control or somewhere close to where he actually learns how to use his air pressure attack. It was a tough battle, by the way. Don't think it's like, oh, Deku just overpowered him completely. It was a really tough battle because Kirishima and Deku have a really close relationship, and Bakugo and Kirishima also have that same relationship, but not as strong because not only does he hang out with Deku even more, but he also trains with him, and Bakugo wants to train with Deku, but Deku just doesn't allow it because those two are rivals. And Kirishima also beat Bakugo, so Bakugo still kind of hates Kirishima, but they're not as close as before. So if Kirishima asked for Bakugo's hand when he was basically captured by the villains, I think Bakugo would still go for it, but he would still be mad at him. So it was like, damn you bastard, and he would then do that explosion. I mean, it's nothing different than the actual one, but he was actually smiling in canon, but this time he would just be pissed. He's like, damn, I was rescued by this guy again. Or lost to him, or he'd consider it lost against Kirishima. Oh, and since Kirishima actually won that fight, he would also verse Tetsu, and he would actually win way more easily because his hardening is better and his strength and speed is way faster and stronger. So there wouldn't really be a arm wrestling competition between those two, so it would just end in the first try. Okay, since that explanation is done, let's move on to the Stain arc. So Deku gets to Host City because he has that villain training or villain combat training that Gran Torino wants him to do. And by the way, some people also asked about the scarf training. He's already learned the scarf training because before the sports festival, the 2 weeks before that, he was learning how to use this scarf with Aizawa, so it's kind of fine. And he chose Gran Torino's agency because All-Might was the one who suggested it. And All-Might said something that really intrigued Deku because he's like, Gran Torino is really good with like power controlling and making your body more strong enough to control your power. So he's like, maybe he can help me with my limit breaker technique. Oh, and the hiding presence technique that I mentioned, some people actually, or one person actually commented it should be called Serenity. I can't really say it properly. I said it in my head properly, but I can't really bring it outside of my mouth. So it's in the previous video. Just look at the comments. It's the first one and you can read it. But yeah, I had to like go to Google and then search it up and then click the speak button on it. But anyways, I'll do that later. But yeah, Deku goes to Host City for villain combat training. The Nomu attacks the train. This time Deku wouldn't really hesitate. He was like, okay, what to do? And Gran Torino would already jump and jet through the hole and take down the Nomu. And he would basically tell the kid, he's like, keep on going on the train, who cares? And Deku's like, hell yeah, I mean, no way. And he jumps out of the hole and starts running towards the area. And he also knows that Ida also took this agency, and he also knows all the research that he did on the Stain, or the hero killer Stain. I was gonna say Stain killer again, but I caught myself this time. Anyways, so he starts looking for Ida because he knows Ida's gonna do something stupid, even though he's the smartest person in the class. No, he's probably not the smartest person, but the most bossiest person. So he starts looking for Ida all over the place, and then he ends up fighting him because of his really good knowledge that he knows of the Stain, or the hero killer Stain. So he knows that he's gonna be in somewhere far away in dark places, in alleyways and all that stuff. So he starts looking away from the actual attention or the battlefield that is going on in the middle of the city and all the fire and all that stuff. So he ends up finding Hero Killer Stain and Ida about to being killed by Stain, and he ends up fighting him, takes off his weights, and then he's impressed. He's like, damn, you've done more training than me. Impressive. Only if I did that weight training like you, I might have been stronger and be able to kill more heroes. And Deku just says like, too bad, I'm not your teacher. I don't know why I said that. That's just so lame. Anyways, so he starts fighting Stain. He's way better at combat than Stain, and Stain's just getting outmatched in combat. Stain basically not congratulates, but respects his fighting ability, or Deku's fighting ability, because he's trained to the point where he's actually serious about becoming a hero, and he actually looks up to Deku because he's the only quirkless hero, and he saw on the TV like 10 months, maybe even, it's probably even 1 year ago now, but 10 months ago or 1 year ago, he saw this kid take down the sludge villain and save a kid, and he's quirkless, and all the heroes that were there didn't even do anything, and they had quirks. So he really respects Deku and really gives him good luck to become the next #1 hero, because he believes with hard work he can become the next #1 hero, even if he's quirkless. So after some talking, Deku starts fighting him again, and he notices that Stain was just catching her breath after talking to him. So he's like, okay, I need to end this quick. He starts attacking Stain rapidly. He takes off his leg weights, so this time he's even faster, and starts taking down him. And he knocks him out completely clean and way easier. He doesn't need Todoroki's help. He doesn't need Ida's help. And he doesn't need Native's help, even though he didn't actually get Native's help in canon. But it would be useful if he did help him. So he ties up Stain and basically takes all of his weapons, because that's unsafe, and if he wakes up he can attack us. So yeah, he ties him up and it basically starts lecturing Ida why he was wrong and all that stuff. Ida softens up again, and he's like, okay, I'm sorry, I was wrong, I won't do that ever again, and this injury to my shoulder will be proof of that. And anyways guys, if you guys don't know why I haven't been uploading on Anime Royalty, I have too much work on my own channel, so I have to get my life together first, and then I might actually do a Anime Royalty video. I am so sorry for all of your Anime Royalty fans. I probably won't be continuing the what if Deku had Superman's powers. I'll probably be doing something else, because I'm pretty bored of that, and I don't really like OP characters anymore. I'm just losing my touch on the OP characters. I would like to do something like this, where Deku trains like hell and becomes really overpowered through time because he's trained like hell. So he rescues Ida and Native also, and he carries them both and leaving his weights, by the way, because they're just a little too much hassle. So he can get new ones, he doesn't really care, and it's way easier for him because his weights are heavier than all three of them. So yeah, actually I was planning on doing an Anime Royalty video today, but looking at the time right now, I really can't do it, and I don't really have the time to do it, and I'm a little too lazy right now because I am losing my breath, I need water, and I need some air right now, and yeah, any other excuse that will stop me from making a video for Anime Royalty. Not that I don't have anything against it, I would love to make a video, but I'm just too tired and lazy right now. And I just recorded 2 videos back to back, so my throat is kind of dry, and I'd rather go to sleep because I had a what's a really terrifying word that will make it sound really bad for the training that I did at gym today, but yeah. So after this whole conundrum, Deku goes to the hospital with Ida, and he also, I think he would get injured. No, he wouldn't really get injured because he's way stronger here. So he would probably just go back home. He's all fine. Doctors was like, okay, you're not hurt anywhere, but it's cool, so you can go back home. He would meet up with Gran Torino, all that stuff, explain the situation, because he's like, I know Ida was like doing some stupid stuff right now, so I had to do something. So he's like, okay kid, whatever, but just keep a leash on your friends, okay? And he would walk away, and then he would visit home, and then every single day he would come and visit Ida and talk to him. I think Todoroki would also do that because I think his father's agency is in the same place, so I think it would be really close. He's like, okay, I'll visit my mom and you guys. And just because of the plot, let's say his mom is in the same hospital as Ida is being treated. Then the head of the police basically comes in, talks with Deku and Ida about the situation, how they broke the law and stuff. So all the credit is gonna go to Endeavor. Yeah, credit's the right word. In like the 2 videos before this, I didn't really know what the word credit was. Actually, I did know it, but I just couldn't think of it. And I was just saying all the stuff would go to Endeavor. I didn't really know what the hell I was talking about. But yeah, credit would go to Endeavor, and some of it would go to Native, but he didn't really do anything. He was just laying there watching everything. So that would happen. Ida's shoulder would heal, but not perfectly. I mean, he still has like permanent damage a little, but it's still fine. He would be able to move it, and he would be fighting with it. But if he strains it a little too much and gets that injury same again and again, he would completely lose his entire arm and his shoulder and all that stuff. So they go back to class. Everybody's like shocked. They're like, "Whoa, Ida, why were you injured? Did the stain killer? What did he look like?" and all that stuff. And the video would still go up, but yeah, it wouldn't really have that much effect because I think nothing would actually change about that effect on the other people. Dabi would still be affected by that. Toga, Twice, Mr. Compress, and all that stuff would still go to the League of Villains and still like join them and plan for our training camp. Well, sorry for that noise. And I would do the final test or the final practical test with the student versus teachers. I'll do that in the next part, and I hope you guys like, because it really does help the channel out. Make sure to subscribe to join the family and hit the bell icon for my future videos. And as always, Anime Junkie out.